listening to Ocala Live, WOCA The Source, 96.3 FM. You know the numbers, 1370 AM. As we're coming up on now 10:38, a little bit of the show left. Ocala Live. Hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. I really do. I hope you're having a good Wednesday so far. I think this week is one of those positive ones. There's a lot of work to do. I'm sure people are thinking, man, there's a lot of work to do just to get to that weekend. But it's worth it because 3-day weekend coming up with Memorial Day, and the weather looks spectacular, and things are opening back up. Restaurants at least 50% capacity. You can get your gym on now. You can get your work on, your workout on. And we were talking too at the beginning of the show, and we were mentioning that the idea too was some of the theme parks, surrounding areas of the theme parks. For example, the Universal City Walk and the Disney Springs, as mentioning they're open. And Disney Springs is looking forward to today, which Disney Springs will set the benchmark for other parks to reopen. It's a big week for the currently dormant hospitality and tourism industry in Central Florida during the coronavirus pandemic. The phased reopening of Disney Springs will begin today. And experts say other parks are watching. As we mentioned earlier, that while theme parks are busy putting forth their plans to Governor DeSantis for reopening, this Mr. Dr. Alan Fayal, Roslyn College Associate Dean of Academic Affairs in Disney, said Disney Springs is doing the right things by gradually reopening. Whatever Disney does, others will do to varying degrees because of resources. But essentially, they are the benchmark to what comes through and through. As we were mentioning, the idea of Disney Springs to begin opening Wednesday today, and with the new measures that come through for the opening. As when visitors arrive at Disney Springs, they will be required to undergo temperature checks. Face coverings are required for all visitors ages 3 and older. And neither members of the party will be allowed if there's somebody that's over 100 degrees for fever. Disney said it will be limiting the number of visitors allowed to the Disney Springs during the initial reopening to maintain the appropriate physical distancing. Just not a bad thing. Last time I was at Disney Springs, it was a lot of people there. Physical barriers and ground markers will be installed to promote social distancing. Parking will also be limited, with only the orange and lime garages open to visitors. By the way, park in the lime garage puts you right in smack dab center of everything. And a little note that you need, it's lime. It's all about lime for the garages, Disney Springs. Surface lots will be closed. Also, visitors will be able to enter Disney Springs from 4 locations: Orange Garage, Lime Garage, the pedestrian bridge from the Hotel Plaza Boulevard, and the rideshare location. Once the garages reach capacity, no more visitors will be allowed in. And having a dining reservation does not guarantee entry, as that was brought up. We have a reservation, and it doesn't guarantee entry. Got to get there in an expected time to be able to find the place to park and be able to be the ones to go in. Other new measures include increased cleaning in high traffic areas, additional hand washing stations, and contactless payment options at stores and restaurants. I want to know, how many of you folks are still paying cash? Amongst this world pandemic, have you only been using the card? Have you not been using the card and had it stored on your device, your personal device, where you've just been using your phone to cash out? Because now Publix is one of the ones that does that. Have you been staying away from cash because of the cooties that are on it, possible coronavirus? I still have cash. I need cash. When you see $100 in cash and you go to break that sucker, it's way different than seeing what $100 looks like digitized on your phone in the app to what you think you have. When you break that 100, you know it's going to be going. Disney-owned businesses will begin reopening on May 27th, including the Disney World of Disney Store and Deluxe Burger. Disney Springs will be open daily from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., which are shortened hours of the operation. Disney also issued a disclaimer to those who plan to visit Disney Springs. Visitors are warned about the inherent risk of exposure to COVID-19 that exists in public areas. COVID-19 is extremely contagious disease that we can lead to severe illness and death. The disclaimer says, according to the Center of Disease Control and Prevention, senior citizens and guests with underlying medical conditions are especially vulnerable. By visiting Disney Springs, you are voluntarily assuming all risks related to the exposure of COVID-19. Proceed at your own risk, basically. And I think at the end of the day, that's one thing that most people understand. And I know it just has to be written. The rest of Disney World, including the theme parks, water parks, and resort hotels, remain closed. And a reopening date for those areas has not been announced. So there you go. So Disney Springs today, that's a little something there. And right in time with, like we said, with what's coming up, to work hard this week, get through it, to get to your 3-day weekend. And for some people, that might be one of those ideas there for trying to get to something like Disney Springs, just to change it up a little bit, right? Get something to do to the family. Also thinking about the beach, as we talked with Galen, who had an opportunity to get out to Ormond Beach there this past weekend, the love of his life, and said it was a great time. So with this Memorial Day coming up, this is what we traditionally use as the guidance of the memoriam of who we know soldiers gave their life for the country, and that's the purpose of the holiday. And we also know it's time to spend with family, and one of those ways is at the beach, and one of those better places than at the beach. Your feet in the sand, sun on your face, and that salty sea air. As there's a lot coming into what we can get back to as what we can consider to be normalcy. And I think it's kind of exciting here what we're getting into by the end of this week, and then having the holiday, and then where we come back after the holiday. So it's all good stuff. All good stuff. As we're coming up on now 15 minutes before the top of the 11 o'clock hour, we're going to take a short little break, give you some more weather. Then we're going to come back. We got a few items to talk just to round out the show. Half the plan to continue habits and activities after the lockdown. Pier 1. We got a little bit to talk about left. AM Ocala Live, back after this.
Vegetable and cucumber growers looking to maximize quality and increase marketable yield potential, look no further than Miravis Prime fungicide. This powerful preventative and curative fungicide delivers unprecedented spectrum, stamina, and control of gummy stem blight, powdery mildew, and other difficult diseases. With long-lasting residual control, Miravis Prime delivers the consistent control and management flexibility you need, and it can complement your integrated pest management program. Talk to your Syngenta retailer about the unprecedented performance of Miravis Prime. Always read and follow label instructions.
Hey folks, those spring discount days just keep rolling. At Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala, there's an unheard of buy one get one super buy on blueberries, just $4.99. And there's also an unheard of buy one get one free on bougainvillea, as low as $22.99. Bob has hundreds of hydrangeas, many different colors, starting at just $19.99. And as usual, all flowering trees and shade trees are buy one, get one at half price. And yes, Bob Wine's is Crepe Myrtle headquarters for all of Ocala, picked from a dozen bright and wild colors, starting as low as $24.99. Now check the ad, call ahead with your order, you don't even have to leave your car. Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala, in the same blooming place since 1952.
WOCA.
Today will be mostly sunny, high 89 to 92. Tonight, mainly clear with a low 67 to 70. For tomorrow, partly sunny, high 91 to 94. Then at night, patchy clouds with a low 68 to 71. Partly sunny Friday, thunderstorm in spots for the afternoon, high 90 to 95. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Kevin Snyder.
This is Jan from Palm Garden. Now that our governor is slowly reopening our state, the number one question I get is, when can I visit my loved one at Palm Garden? The quick answer is that I don't know. I can tell you that we were the first to close and will likely be the last to reopen in order to protect our residents. Limiting visitors, screening, and masks will also be likely. Until we are able to see you again, we are Palm Garden.
Hi, this is Brittany from Mike Scott Plumbing. I wanted to take a moment to let you know that during these tough times, Mike Scott Plumbing is still here, ready to help you in every way we can. We know life doesn't just stop, and when it breaks, we know your plumbing doesn't just magically start working again. Mike Scott Plumbing is taking every precaution to ensure your safety by following and exceeding all the guidelines set forth by the CDC for COVID-19, as well as local districts. As an essential business, we are operating at full capacity to ensure we get your problem solved day, night, or weekends. We're all in this together. We hope you are all staying safe during these trying times. And remember, if water runs through it, we do it. 866-314-4443. Call day or night. That number again is 866-314-4443. Mike Scott Plumbing.
Hey everyone, it's time to learn more about the exciting opportunities in higher education provided right here at home. Wednesday, May 27th at 10:05 a.m., representatives from the College of Central Florida and Webster University will be my in-studio guests to tell us about the latest news about the education opportunities available right now. So be sure to listen. Again, that's Higher Education Happenings Wednesday, May 27th at 10:05 a.m. Education is the passport to the future. Tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. WOCA, the source.
We are proud to announce the Conservative Watch Hour on WOCA 96.3 FM and 1370 AM every Friday at 11 a.m. Hosted by Annie Marie Delgado, president of Trump Team 2020 Florida, and her co-host Ann Vandersteel with SteelTruth.com. We are serving a higher level of excellence, and we are the only program of this type in this market. Don't miss your weekly dose of conservative talk radio. WOCA 11 a.m. Fridays, 96.3 and 1370 a.m.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
And you're listening to AM Ocala Live, WOCA, the source, as we're back. 10 minutes before the top 11 o'clock hour, 10:50. As we're rounding out our show here, AM Ocala Live for this Wednesday. As we say good morning, beautiful weather day, gorgeous weather day. As we come to the afternoon, we should see some breeziness. We're going to get in the upper 80s today. Hopefully it won't feel as bad if we got another breeze blowing like we did yesterday, although it did get a little windy, and we could see some of that today, this afternoon. But that should die down by the evening, and lows aren't as cool as they have been in the last 2 weeks. There was as was spring, as we're getting higher temperatures, only seeing a 20-degree difference in those temperatures, as we're going to see ourselves back to lows in the 70s as the weeks go on here. And now we're going to get back to the afternoon expectation of thunderstorms. 30% chance of afternoon thunderstorms tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and into next week, so on and so forth. Too bad. And just beautiful weather. And now we're starting to see that weather break out in other parts of the country. I think I mentioned 2 weeks ago the expectation was rain and possible snow showers in Ohio, in northeast Ohio. As now I've checked their forecast, now they're coming back to something more realistic like ours, although it's a little bit cooler, but we already had that already. But now they're starting to get to more of the May expectations of where you'd like to see Memorial Day being in the 70s with some sunshine and partly cloudy skies up there, which is good. That helps the virus overall. If you can get States up north back to some better weather. That'll help everything overall, get the trend to open things back up more nonetheless. As just a few other things to mention, I thought this was interesting just to mention birthday. As today, May 20th, Cher turns 74 years old. Cher. Incredible. I got you, babe. 74 years old today. Cher. Can you believe that? News attacks. If you have a gift card to Pier 1 Imports, better look to use it. Use it after they reopen because they're all going to close their stores. As Pier 1, as we found out yesterday, I found out yesterday, that Pier 1 was one of the stores looking to consolidate, if you will, by just going ahead and closing out. And at the end of the day, it was one of those stores that when I was a kid, I really didn't care for because I had to go to that store with Mom and look around at what I don't know. And then as I got older, I understood it as the decor for the home. But it's funny that they're closing their stores. That's just something, I guess. I guess with the idea of the Wayfair app and Amazon and all that stuff, a lot of that has come and gone, and some of the do-it-yourself stuff, and some of that. I don't know, but you got a gift card, you better use it. As half plan to continue habits and activities after lockdown, half of us plan to continue our newfound habits and activities in life after lockdown, including creating podcasts, online fitness classes, and walking more often. In a survey of adults, 43% say they feel they have, quote, changed their ways for the better and plan to continue with their improved behaviors even after, which we see now with the restrictions being lifted. Well, of course, because now you can do more and you kind of set yourself the example of what to do little by little. Absolutely. As that's a good percentage, I would actually see that be higher. As we said, half of us plan to continue our newfound habits and activities in life after lockdown. Did you create any new habits or activities? Eating, getting more takeout and delivery and eating? Yeah, so did a lot of people, and they plan on continuing that. As we move on a little bit, is Ford asks Trump to wear mask for Michigan plant trip, as Donald Trump has been told to wear face mask when he visits the Ford Motor Factory in Michigan on Thursday, but it's not clear whether he plans to comply with the directive. He's already on the hydroxychloroquine. He's good. I don't know. But that's funny, just making the notion that the president has to. Of course he will. I'm sure he will. As something else here, just to touch on as we're coming up towards the end of the show, Pringles has chips that taste like corn on the cob with butter. Huh? A favorite summer food is fresh corn on the cob, smothered in butter and salted. While it can't possibly taste anything like the real thing, Pringles is introducing sweet corn flavor. I'll say that again. Sweet corn flavored Pringles. The chips incorporate the flavors of sweet and salty fresh corn, cooked corn, and creamy butter. How about that? Pringles, corn on the cob Pringles. I think you just stick to the cheddar. I think you just stick to the cheddar. That'd be worth a shot. Why not? Here's a wacky but true, as we're moving on here. Here's a wacky but true bull scratching itself knocks out power. It says a bull named Ron was the cause of a power outage in a town in Scotland. The owner of the bull wrote on a local Facebook group, "Our bull Ron would like to apologize to everyone for causing last night's power outage. He had an itchy bum, so he scratched it on the electricity pole and knocked the transformer box off, which then continued the power outage through where in which that was connected, as it was a bull who leaned up against an electricity pole to scratch his behind and knocked down the transformer box, causing a power outage over in Scotland." And the bulls, incredible. The bulls scratching their bottoms, causing power outages. This is incredible stuff, by the way. We get a little bit of this every now and then. Like yesterday, we just got a tidbit of it, but today there's a few more on it, and they're always interesting. And these are some of those things that that's when I wish I had somebody else to bounce that off with. I hear somebody else's opinion on a bull named Ron causing a power outage. A bull named Ron causing a power outage in Scotland because it went to scratch its bum against a telephone pole and dropped the transformer box. Incredible. Tonight on More TV, if you haven't got enough of it in the last few months, tonight on TV, a series premiere of cute little title here, Once Upon a Quarantine. This is incredible, the stuff that they can come up with. The people that come up with this stuff, I know, make a ton of money. And I've got ideas, not this cheese ball, but I'd like to see them be put to use that I could come out the other end. TV tonight, series premiere of Once Upon a Quarantine. In this new reality series, several couples self-film their new reality amid the COVID-19 pandemic, documenting pregnancies, quarantine weddings, and other events. Okay, so not too bad. Once Upon a Time, a Quarantine. And that airs tonight at 9 p.m. on, guess what channel? Lifetime. Yep, Lifetime channel. The one that convinces women that all men are awful. Anyway, as we've come now to the top of the 11 o'clock hour, as we say for AM Ocala Live, it was a good show. It was a good Wednesday. We made it through, and now we can make it through this week here, right? Big weekend coming up, Memorial Day. We've got a great show for you to finish out this week, starting tomorrow, Thursday. Obviously, Thursdays are set for Veterans News, and with Memorial Day coming up on Monday, stay tuned for that for tomorrow. We'll have Hank and Gary giving us more information on what's coming through with Vets Helping Vets and the VA clinic from there on in lieu of COVID-19 and everything that people can do to help with that and donate. Good show for you. And we say stay tuned for tomorrow, like we said. Beautiful day today. Take advantage of it. And then we say till tomorrow. That's it for me. Thanks to everybody. Thanks to Alan. Thanks to Joe. Thanks to Galen. Goodbye.
Something that we've never experienced before.
Catastrophic flooding sweeps into the streets of Midland, Michigan after 2 dams burst because of recent heavy rains. Flooding is said to be